Okay, first of all, thanks for checking back in and bearing with me. So, maybe some of you might ask themselves, Christina, what the actual fuck? Your devlog says week 16, but it's been 2 freaking months since you last uploaded anything concerning your game. And to that I say, yeah. No, seriously, it's been 2 months, and the entire time between the last update, which was week 11, and this one is the time that I lost in production. That means that I'm currently over a month behind on schedule, and the guild has finally caught up with me, and I felt like I owed you an explanation, especially because I haven't talked about this on social media much. So speaking about social media, if you think that I'm annoying and obnoxious, but you're still interested in my games, then I have good news. A while ago, a few months ago, I made separate social media accounts on Twitter and Instagram where I only post things concerning games, no private stuff, no rants, no nothing. So if that is more your style, then I recommend checking them out. So back to the actual video. So the reason why I'm actually a month behind on schedule is a mix of issues. The biggest issue is that I'm not as flexible as I thought I was. It's kind of hard to explain, but I always explain it as having a battery. So some days I wake up with a full battery, some days I wake up with an 80% battery, some days it's even lower. And as some of you might know, because I talked about this in past streams, which I uploaded to YouTube, I took driving lessons since September. And as some of you might know, I am deathly afraid of driving. I still am, even after having passed my practical exam in December. I passed just barely, but I passed. I didn't make any bad mistakes. I'm just tense as frick. Anyways, I almost had a driving lesson every day, and driving exhausts me to that point where I have to nap for an hour once I get back. Is that weird? Yeah, can I do anything about that? No. Oh, it's kind of sad, but it's just the way it is. And the other smaller contributing issue is that I mentioned I am currently staying at my parents' house. And that means that if my parents want me to cook dinner, or want me to go shopping, or want me to do anything, I, a 20-year-old adult, still have to comply with that, or I'm going to have a bad time. There is absolutely nothing I can do about that, so I had to work around this. And working around this means crunching. And I remember very, very clearly that I said somewhere at the beginning of the project that I will not work on weekends, and I will not work overtime, and I will not do crunch. And yeah, guess what? Guess who's doing crunch now? The only reason why I'm so against crunching or working overtime or on weekends is just that I, as a project manager, consider working overtime or crunching as a failure on my part. And I don't do mistakes. Yeah, the reason why I've been doing a little bit of crunch is just that I failed as a project manager, because I considered that there might be something that keeps me from working, and that's why I had a schedule of maximum 24 weeks. 22 was the amount I wanted to work, and 24 is in case something happens. And my ass didn't expect me to be a month behind, like double the amount I had planned. So, the reason I'm doing crunch is to get back on track, duh. And I already talked to my professor about that, who's supervising the project, and I decided to move the deadline from the end of January, which is this week, to the 1st of March. And that brings me to why I'm actually doing this video, aside from the guild, aside from updating you. And that is that while I'm trying to do my best, I am not 100% confident that I will be able to release the entire game in March. And I'm afraid that there's not much I can do about that. Like, my day only has 24 hours and I still like to sleep. I'm not gonna do a death march for a game that's not even, like, gonna be commercially successful or anything. So, in February, I will be meeting up with my professor for a last checkup, and I'll ask him about what I've been thinking about since it became clear that I won't be able to finish the entire game. So I thought about maybe releasing a demo instead of the whole game. I don't want to make promises, but my current goal is to finish the prologue and chapter 1 completely, like to have a vertical slice. Maybe chapter 2 if I'm really gonna crunch. And I don't have to release anything. But in my mind I always ask myself, what's the point in making something that nobody will see? So yeah, I'd like to release a teaser and see what people think, and maybe try to finish up loose ends throughout the year. If that's possible, of course, I'd need to talk to my professor about all of that, so that I might have a full release sometime. Yeah, the thing just is that this is like supposed to be a substitute for my internship, which I already mentioned I didn't get one. And it just feels like so much of a failure on my part if I don't release anything. If I have like a loose connection of code and images and graphics, and there isn't like a finished game, it's just, I know that happens in the games industry, but I consider this a personal failure, because I wanted this to be my first project that I actually finish. Because I've joked about this a lot, like I have 50 novels like on the back burner, and I never finish any of them. I just come up with new concepts, and I want it to be dead on arrival, like the first project, be it like games or novels or whatever, comics, that I finish, and apparently that's not happening. Yeah, so I'm really sorry that I came back from the devlog hiatus with such bad news. But I thought it was important to update all of you who are interested in that on the issue. I didn't choose to be a month behind on schedule, and even after I postponed my project for a month. I mean, I still have the entirety of February to make the game, but I'm not confident that I alone will be able to do this. And there is not a way to hire more people for the project, so there is nothing, not much I can do about that. And I think I'll make another video after my talk with the professor in February, and then when the deadline in March rolls around, with a post-mortem which wraps the entirety of the development up with some stats and everything that went well, that went bad, my takeaways from this project. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks so much for watching. As I said, my new social media and of course my old social media is in the description below, and I hope that you will be back for the next update or for just the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.